What's up? What's up? It's been a while since I've been on here. I think it's been like a week. I don't know. I just been pretty much doing what most other people do. Watch YouTube. I primarily just watch the entertaining stuff. I guess. I mean, I've pretty much watched all of the back and forth from the back and forth stuff with the saga of Chicago's one and only Brandon Johnson. Uh, I think that's his name. No, Brandon Jamal or Jamal. I forgot his name, but basically the diaper man. Single mom man, and he's getting a lot of backlash. Um, but I don't know. It's quite interesting. It's been quite entertaining, the blowback from people trying to talk about that, and then and then people lashing out on the people that's talking about it, and it's like it's hilarious. But yeah, I've been watching. I've just been pretty much been a spectator. Every now and again, I do have the urge to hop on myself, but most of the time I don't. But I pretty much don't really have too much to talk about. So that means I got a lot to talk about. But yeah, I don't really necessarily have anything on the docket particularly. I think I was gonna write some stuff down, and then I was like, I forgot about it. I was too busy trying, I think, come up with a thumbnail. But anyway, I'm gonna try to see if I can play a few games of chess. I have to go grab my coffee. I made some coffee, so I have to grab that briefly, shortly, or whatever. So that is something that I will do shortly. But anyway, I'll just have to say one of the things that I'm doing shortly. I mean, right now, as of right now, is as far as like kind of hustles or whatever, is I've been trying to grow my trading accounts. Okay, like almost like Robin Hood challenge. Like just I've been trying to grow small accounts with like $100. Been just trying to grow those on a steady pace, and I've been doing really good with that. One of the things that I used to do, I'll say, as far as trading, and of course I'm trying some other things. I'm trying doing some prop trading at the moment. That's pretty much kind of what I'm doing. So I'm trying to do some prop trading. But outside of that, I've um I've just been trying to focus on trying to build my build my trading accounts, build those up to where the goal is to be a full-time trader or full-time investor. Um, that's the ultimate goal. It wouldn't take that much for me to be a full-time trader. I would have to say probably uh what would I need to make as far as profits a month? I definitely will probably need to make the bare minimum. I would need to make 20 about $2,000 a month profits. So let me get my calculator and roughly kind of map that out because it's like that's 20 days, 20 trading days out of the month. So you just basically, okay, 2000 divided by 20. So I literally would need to make about $100 a day. Every trading day, at the very bare minimum, I would just need to make about $100. Now I know, okay, it's like, damn, that's all you need to make is $2,000. Damn, what the fuck? I mean, my cost of living is very, very low. Okay, one of the things that I learned a long, long time ago, and one of the things about me, you really ain't gonna catch me talking about no. Like sometimes I talk about some crazy stuff. I talk about all kind of goofy stuff. Um, I might even dabble into being female centered. Okay, that's kind of a new word that I don't really say, but I have to admit that a lot of times I have been female centered because I don't know, I just like women. I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily would even call it female centered, but I guess focusing too much on women would be, female centered. But the thing is this: when it comes down to the come down, it's about money and power. That's mainly what I talk about. This at the very, I gotta remind people every day I hop on here as much as I can. This is a financial channel. This ain't no, it's a lot of different things I talk about, but at the very core, this channel is a financial channel. It's based, a lot of the talk is about finances, about wealth building. It comes from a macro level. I mean, a small level because I'm not rich, okay? Not wealthy as well. Um, Technically I am, but not in a sense of I have millions of upon millions of dollars in wealth. No, that's not my reality, unfortunately. But that's mainly what I focus on is money, finances, trying to take a dollar and turning it into two or more is what I primarily talk about. And I know that loses a lot of people because a lot of people are focused on other things or like to be entertained. They don't want to be reminded of their own financial realities and things that they're lacking. And of course, I mean, I used to lambast a lot of people that don't do that, and I have stopped doing that. I've stopped lambasting people that choose to be non-competitive financially. Okay, I've just pretty much let people be, man. I let people be, and I don't focus on that anymore, and I don't try to lambaste broke people. Okay, because I kind of had a taste where like it was coming back on me, where it was like, damn, I heard somebody else talking about broke people, and I was like, damn, that shit don't, that's not cool. Like it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like, damn, that's what I'm doing to people. When I'm coming on my channel, talking about broke people and shit. This is the fucking, reception that people are getting from me. Basically, they're getting that same reception. So I've since kind of calmed down on that quite significantly, and yeah, I've calmed down on that quite significantly. Um, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I just kind of clicked on something, and it's very expensive. It's on eBay. It's 11 grand. And I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, and I'm, pretty technically savvy. And I have no idea what the hell this is. Like, let me show you what the hell I'm talking about. It's just random. It's like I just was looking at something. I was like, why is this 11 grand? What the fuck is this? You know? And then I'm looking at the description and I still don't know what the hell it is. I mean, like, it looks like it's something like a camera. It has something to do with cameras, but it's a radio. So I don't know, like maybe it's got some type of, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what this shit is, but it's pretty expensive. I mean, I guess you can, I don't know, maybe you can make your own radio station or some shit. Probably for that price, I would imagine that that's what you can do with that. But anyway, I just saw $11,000. I'm like, what the hell is that? That's all I saw. I ain't really see nothing else. I was like, what the hell is that, man? But the thing is that when it comes down to money and whatnot, that's the biggest problem that I see that people have. That's why I pretty much, I would say, that's where I center myself. Is I pretty much think about financial opportunities. I talk about financial opportunities. I talk about um, investments, real estate, stocks. Just the standard things that people talk about. When it comes to finances. But the thing is that I'm not necessarily a miser, but I'm willing to do things, and it goes back to why only I need about 1,000. I mean, basically, uh, like pretty much $2,000 a month. Is because I'm willing to do things to save money other people are not willing to do. It's like I hear a lot of people younger, like Gen Z and then millennials, they complain about like the housing cost and inflation. And it's like those same people, if they consulted with me and I looked over their financial statements, basically their checking accounts, um, even, ask them what do they spend cash on, they gonna tell me, basically, probably primarily a lot more in entertainment than the standard expense amount will be, which is anything over $100. Is like, damn, you really going, you doing a lot of entertainment. Um, they probably have a car payment that's from a new car. Like they probably have a new car, okay, used or new. They probably have some type of car payment, and they have full coverage, which full coverage is averaging about $100 a month or more. Plus, the average car payment is about $700 a month. So that's about $800 gone down the drain every month for a car, to drive a car. And most people have car payments. Most people do have car payments. That's standard. And that the tiers, the TikTok, I can't do this. It's valid. Trust and believe. I've done my share of talking about how unequitable wealth distribution is in the United States. I mean, I literally have charts on it that I pay to upload. I mean, literally, this is the chart here. This is the wealth distribution chart in America. Like, I mean, it has not changed since this was basically grafted. That's it. But knowing that, it's like knowing that, right? You know that, right? Like, or you either don't believe it or don't care, right? Because if you either don't know, don't believe it, or don't care. Those are the examples that you have as far as, even if you already kind of, because you're complaining about the rich and all this, about all of this shit, knowing all of this, right? Even if you don't know the wealth distribution in the United States, you don't know that much about that. I do, but you don't. Okay, I'll give you that. You don't have to necessarily know that. I mean, I think you should, but let's say you don't know that, right? Well, okay, that's fine. But you do know that everything you do, you're making those same people that you demonize and scrutinize richer with your purchases. Okay, for example, if you don't have kids, um, and your parents are cool, like, it ain't no reason you should be paying other than to get, like, okay, all right, I get it. You want to get an apartment so you can have unadulterated sexual intercourse. You want to have sweet unadulterated coitus without any interruptions whatsoever, or absolute privacy. I get it, right? Even to stand out amongst your peers, it is always, and it always will be, men and women that will talk about men or women, primarily men. They don't scrutinize women for living with their parents, but men are definitely scrutinized for living with their mother, or even both parents, or whatever. But the thing is that all of those are social peer pressures. That's called social peer pressure. And with social peer pressure, at the end of the day, that shit don't pay your bills or save you money. Peer pressure doesn't save you money or make you money. Satisfying other people don't make you money. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do that. Okay. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do that. Okay. Um so, trying to please others. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't do that. That doesn't help you make money trying to satisfy other people. That's not how that works. So, with the thing with what I would say is, if you got both parents and you choose to live with your parents to save money, I mean, I recommend that. You wouldn't get no pushback, no argument for me. The broke genius 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I would look at you sideways if you said you got enough money and you know what I'm saying, you want to live with your parents because or whatever. I'll be like, damn, but my situation was different. I mean, my parents was all right, but it's not like we had the best of relationships. I'll be honest, I didn't really get along with my parents that good. You know what I'm saying? It was a situation where I couldn't wait to get away from my parents. I left home. I cried actually when I couldn't leave and go to college. I was like 17, and I didn't have the grades to get into college that I wanted to go to. And I didn't know that, basically you could just go get an apartment and go to a junior college. I didn't even my brain wasn't my brain wasn't working, you know that efficient to think, damn, because like one of my homies from high school, he got a scholarship to play for a junior college, and basically they just paid for his apartment and or dorm or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, if you don't have no scholarship, you could just go get, go get your apartment and have your parents, what I'm saying, help you out or whatever you need to, make ends meet or whatever. And then boom, you could go away to school, and then have a place to live. You know what I'm saying? So I knew about this like after um I had left college. I mean, left high school, and by that time, I had to deal with living in my parents' house for another year and all of that. But the thing is this: if knowing what I know now about how everything is going now and how everything has been in the last, let's just say, 20 years, if you have the option to stay with your parents, man, that's just a genius decision, because rent prices. I was on Twitter, and they were arguing about rent prices, and people were talking about what they have to pay in rent. You know what I'm saying? Like they were discussing their rent prices and whatnot. Like some people were talking about, I think somebody was like they got to pay $1,500. Another person was like they got to pay more than that. Yeah, like it was a legit discussion. Um, you know, Stu, he paid $1,500 for a one bedroom. Okay, that's what, like when I was fucking in my early 20s, right? Okay, a one bedroom in the suburbs, okay, a decent suburbs was like of Chicago, okay, suburbs of Chicago was like $700. Okay, literally damn near half of this. Okay, the same one bedroom is about 1,200 to 1,300 dollars. More depending on where you want to live. If you want to live in a really nice suburb, well-to-do, you're gonna be at about 15, 16, 17, $1,800. And today's prices for a one bedroom apartment. Now, some people in the comment section, they were like, basically, where are you paying $1,500? Because this chick right here, she's paying $2,000. Okay, $2,000 a month for rent. For a nice a decent one bedroom apartment or whatever, one bath, a sink, a toilet, and a shower or a tub, and one bedroom. Okay, you know, just basically to be, lumped on top of an apartment unit with other people. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta hear them having sex. If you ain't had sex, you gotta hear them. You know what I'm saying? If you having sex, they can hear you having sex, or worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we do live in a rainbow nation. You know what I'm saying? You imagine you in an apartment and you hearing you hearing two dudes getting it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that shit is crazy, man. But you got to deal with it because you live in an apartment building. It's a reason why I really don't. I really don't have anything to say about anybody that want to live with their parents just to get out of having to pay rent in some apartment building. Like basically, it's a lot of things that you got to deal with when you live in an apartment. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab me some coffee. I'm gonna be right back. Let me play a commercial while um I come back or whatever. Play a commercial here.
Welcome to alsherbs.com, the oasis for your wellness journey. Our mission is to promote good health and reduce the risk of disease by providing a holistic approach to well-being. From the soothing scent of lavender to the invigorating kick of ginseng, we've got you covered with a wide array of herbs, supplements, and wellness products. Imagine the power of nature, harnessed and delivered right to your doorstep. That's the alsherbs.com promise, and it's a promise we're proud to keep. Shopping at alsherbs.com has truly transformed my life, says one of our satisfied customers. The quality of their products is unmatched, and I've never felt better. And she's not alone. Countless individuals have found a one-stop shop for all their wellness needs at alsherbs.com. It's made a world of difference in my life, another customer shares. And what's the secret to our success? It's simple. We believe in the power of holistic wellness, and we're committed to providing the best products to support your journey. Whether you're boosting your immune system, seeking natural remedies, or enhancing your fitness routine, we have everything you need. The path to a healthier, happier life is just a click away. Visit alsherbs.com today and experience the transformative power of nature. Take the first step towards a vibrant, fulfilling lifestyle. alsherbs.com, where your wellness journey begins. Improving lives, one herb at a time. Your wellness oasis awaits.
So yeah, it's a lot of stuff to deal with when you are paying rent. I mean, people do it, and I know the reason why people do it. They want their own privacy. You know, they might have, they wanna walk around butt naked with them and their girlfriend. They want all of the accoutrements of being single and being, alone. They want the kudos from their peers. You own your own. You know what I'm saying? You got your own apartment. It's just part of culture, part of American culture to have your own apartment and be young and be out of the house. A lot of people don't really get along with their parents. They ain't really cool with their parents telling them to take out the garbage. You gotta, what I'm saying, listen to your mama tell you what to do in your 20s and 30s. It's just not, what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff to go with that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I do understand it. But I ain't gonna lie, like when it come down to it, I would, knowing what I know now in my 40s, you know, I'd rather deal with it than make somebody else rich and save the money so I can go buy me a house. I could go right to being a homeowner than just going to go pay somebody to live in their flat. And that's the wisdom that you learn at an older age. You get it. Like, man, if you probably talk to somebody in their 40s and 50s now, and you ask them, obviously the reason why is it's a nostalgic thing, or it's more in depth than just basically home ownership or anything financially related. Because by the time you in your 40s and 50s and older, most likely either one or if not both of your parents probably have died. So if that question has kind of more to do with other things than just besides money, because that person will want the opportunity to just live with their parents again, to see their parents again. So the thing is that it might be biased, because that's no different than me. I mean, both my parents are not here. I would love to live with them. If I would give up my house right now to go live with my parents if that was the option. I mean, obviously. But the thing is that I did live with my parents. I lived with my parents till I was in my early 30s. Yeah. Like I lived off and on, and then I realized, man, fuck apartments. I mean, I can't stand apartments. I can't do apartments well. And I realized, okay, I need to just go ahead and just try to buy me some real estate and get over with it. I just that's what I realized, you know, and that's what I did. But it took me a long time. It wasn't easy. But the thing is back to low overhead and whatnot. I mean, I live in the Midwest and I live in a state, Indiana, which is one of the lowest cost of living in the United States. I mean, it just so happened that it was just a situation where I got in somewhere where it was just it was cheap. But the thing is that that's why I can live off of $2,000 a month. Other people probably wouldn't have, they got too many bills and stuff like that. They got too many credit card bills and all of that type of stuff. See, the thing is I don't even need to make $100 a day from the stock market. If I can just make $50 a day, if I can just literally make $50 a day, I can calculate it to where, like, let me just say it like this, okay? So all I would have to do is just do some side hustle stuff, and I can make up the difference between that $100. I can make $50 outside of the stock market if needed be, and I could be a full-time trader with just basically having a minimum profit margin of $50 a day. And of course, some days as a trader, you're gonna go over that basically that $50. And some days you're gonna lose your target. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lose that. You know what I'm saying? It's just how the market goes. So but the thing is that that's doable for me because my expenses are pretty low. You know what I'm saying? It's like $2,000 is definitely something that I could do. That's probably the lowest I can go, is like $2,000. I mean, I'm not saying that that's something that you should strive to be. I'm just saying that that's just, bare minimum of what I would need to be a full-time trader, which is not a lot. And I would say that probably, roughly thinking, I could probably, what would it take, and what would an account look like to make about $50 a day? And I would say probably something that's about a couple grand. I would only probably need about a couple grand in my account to probably consistently hit a $50 profit target a day, a couple grand. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to really think about, as far as, what could possibly be reality. Um, and of course, if you got, if you live with your parents, that's even less overhead, but not everybody has the opportunity to live with their parents. But needless to say, I'm just throwing these things out here because people do complain a lot about how the wealth distribution is, how the economy is. I'm no different. I complain as well. But what are you doing? What are you willing to do to fight to not have to have the worries of a high price mortgage, a high interest mortgage? Are you willing to get down in the gutter like I have? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to, live places that, basically it's a lower cost, but you got to deal with a lot of things. You got to deal with, maybe, people that are in poverty. You got to deal with neighborhood blight. You got to deal with abandoned properties and all kind of stuff, like renovating properties yourself, all of that type of stuff. Are you willing to, what are you willing to do to, besides complain, to basically fight this capitalistic system, to have some type of fighting chance in this capitalistic system? I mean, that's the question that I have. I've already made decisions and I've done them, and and I'm dealing with those decisions. But what are you willing to do besides complain to be proactive in dealing with this capitalistic system? I mean, griping about it and then still paying $2,000 a month for rent, paying $3,000 a month for rent or more or whatever, having car payments that's like through the roof, with high insurance costs, and then high credit card bills and lavish lifestyles that really is somebody that makes $500,000, and you basically living off of it, living a lifestyle based off of credit. Is that what you're how you are able to, is that what you call you coping with capitalism or dealing with capitalism? Because basically that's that's not gonna cut it. It's not gonna work. In order to fight capitalism, you basically gotta have to come up with your own type of system to combat this system. It's that's how they're working, and that could be just your own financial plan, financial strategy, whatever the case that may be. That's how you deal with that. And then you can gripe and complain, but griping and complaining is not a plan of action. It's not goal oriented. It's not executable. It's just basically you griping and complaining. It's not gonna do anything for you. It's just not. You got to come up with some type of strategy, and you got to stick it out. Whether it be you gonna, you know, do some type of house hacking. You're gonna buy you a 2-flat building, you and your wife. You're gonna buy a 2-flat building, you gonna rent out one unit, and then you're gonna live in the other one. And you know what I'm saying? Basically, that's that. You're gonna live on the top floor, and then you're gonna have some tenants live in the bottom floor. And you know, the tenant might be your parents. I mean, shit, you could work it out. You could have your parents live downstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a way you can have an extended family, and y'all don't have to all be in one room or whatever like that. Y'all could just literally be like on some 227 type stuff. If you was born in the 80s, you already know what I'm talking about. Or if you was probably born in the late 80s, you know about the show 227. Um, they pretty much all knew each other and stuff like that, and they lived in an apartment building. But basically, you can have an extended family where your aunts or something or your cousins live downstairs and they pay you rent. I mean, of course, you might have some issues with that. A lot of times people have problems with their family because family feel like they don't have to pay you nothing, or they do like, some family members, they do black people are real good with this. If you got money and they think like you're doing well, other family members that might not be doing well, they have a communist, almost Marxist viewpoint where they won't pay you rent because they think you got it. So them thinking you got it means they don't have to pay you no money. And then you got to kick them out. And then, you know what I'm saying? That'd be a situation where y'all don't, you could have a situation where you have a family member that you don't talk to because you had basically a bad business transaction together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to be real careful with that. I would say I wouldn't rent it out to anybody else other than my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like anything outside of my parents, it'll just be basically a stranger, and I just deal with that. But that house hacking, that person paying that, whatever, $1,300, $1,500 or whatever a month for, let's say you got a 2-bedroom and you charge 1,800. I'm just going by Chicago prices or whatever. So your mortgage is like 15, about $1,600. So the first unit is paying for your mortgage. I mean, you gotta have the notion that you're gonna pay your mortgage no matter what. You're gonna have to have, save some money in order to do that. You know what I'm saying? Have an account just for your mortgage. Have one bank account that's separate from all your other accounts, that's just primarily for you paying your mortgage. So you're house hacking. You have real estate and you're renting it out one unit and you're living in another. The first unit is paying for your unit, and that is called that's one way. There's many ways you can house hack, but that's one way that you can house hack. Where you can have your property paid for while you live in it, and it basically pays for itself because the unit, the first tenant that you have, the tenant that you have pays for your unit. And then that way, what I'm saying, you got you a property and it's paying for itself. You know what I'm saying? Basically, in short. So let me open up. Let me get get a game of chess going. But I just wanted to, just kind of talk about it because these some things that I've been thinking about. That's my cat, man. He's talking. He's a communal cat. He sees the cat outside He's talking to him. So anyway, let me open up this chess here, chess game here. See what we got. And then talking helps me because basically I kind of, get just what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, strategies that I can be more successful, because I do need to I do you know what I'm saying? In many respects I'm also tired of talking, you know what I'm saying? I've kind of talked a little bit too much, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't necessarily I want to execute. I don't necessarily want to keep talking. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be proactive myself in what I need to accomplish, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it. Look like they changed up the GUI a little bit with this chess.com or whatever. I got checkmate. I don't know if he sees that. He see a lot of times you be focusing in on the pieces that really, like, all of the pieces matter, but the ultimate piece that matters is the king. The game is about the king. It ain't about the queen. You know what I'm saying? It's about the motherfucking king. It ain't about no motherfucking queen. See, that's why, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
You know, it's about the motherfucking king. It ain't about no goddamn anything else trying to protect the queen and all that shit. See, that's when you really, take things a step further and you learn, you learn the importance, you know what I'm saying? Because I definitely be practicing. I still be practicing, you know what I'm saying?
Really him. Really him. You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
You know, so I got my 900 back. You know what I'm saying? I got my 900 back in the 900s. But the thing is this, right? When it come down to it, right? I gotta go out. I gotta go get some breaks. I gotta go to the car. I gotta go to the car parts store to get some brakes. I gotta give me some brakes. I think I need some back brakes. Gotta give me some damn back breaks. But yeah, man, it's definitely about the king, you know. Definitely about the king. You know. It's about you. You know what I'm saying? That how many people are so concerned about their goddamn queen? They're so concerned about their woman. They forgot about them. They forgot about themselves. You know what I'm saying? They so busy worried about the bitch. in the words of Platinum Elite. They forgot about their goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? They so worried about a motherfucking broad.
Message.
You know, they so worried about a broad. They forgot about they self. But it happens. You know, men are androgynous. We think about women all the time. We think about titties, ass, pussy all the fucking time. And nature wired us to think that so we can, you know, make more children, you know, be fruitful and multiply, you know. So it's a hard thing to you know what I'm saying, get in the check or to deal with as a man, you know what I'm saying. So it is something that's hard to deal with. um you know but you know, it can be done, you know what I'm saying. It can be done, you know. I mean, you just gotta motherfucking deal with that shit, man. You gotta, you know, try to get you abroad as soon as you can, as fast as you can, get the best one you can and deal with it. That's it. If you can't deal with it, just, you know, try to live to fight another day. Shit. You know, I mean, a lot of times during a lengthy chess match, and when you go to the, you know, closing and you know, whereas all of the pieces are pretty much gone, most people are, you know, both parties don't have their queen. It's just the king, a few pieces, you know. And most times the queen is going to get taken, you know, both queens or one or the other. So you won't even have in the closing of a chess match, both parties usually don't have their queen. They playing without their queen. You know what I'm saying? They going to um closing rounds, and they don't have their queen. So, you know, a lot of times, again, people give up when they lose their queen. I don't. You know, I keep fighting on. You know, I just, because there's many times that I won, even though my opponent had their queen and I didn't have mine. You know, so I mean, it just, you know, all depends. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely about the king. Definitely about the king. Yep. I mean, but it's a lot of ways. I mean, it's a lot of ways you can make money now. I mean, there's so many ways to make money. And you really, okay, traditional work, traditional jobs, you do have some problems and issues when it comes to, you got to deal with racism and all of that type of stuff. It is a thing. It is definitely a thing. But at the end of the day, um, basically, you can make some money. It's a lot of ways you can make money out here. You know, it's a lot of ways that you can make money out here. So you got to think about what you're gonna do and what you want to do, what you're willing to do, to make some money. Because there's a lot of opportunities out here to make some money.
Get her! Oh, get her! Go! What? Get her! No! The guys are gonna get me down! Oh my god.
So yeah, it's a lot of ways you can make some money out here. So it's compared to like 20 years ago, because of the internet, it's so many ways to make money. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's really no excuse to not be making no money, unless if you live in like a small hick town and like farm town. I get it. Only thing you probably could do is, you could sell on eBay. You could wherever you are. There's certain things you could do, like you could sell on eBay. Man, you could get some. Man, you can buy some stuff online and resell it online. And a lot of times, them little small hick towns, like let's say if you live in like Wyoming somewhere, right? Because you live in Wyoming and you have merchandise, like people will buy from you because you're closer than everybody else. They will buy from you before they buy from anybody else, because you're the closest person. Somebody might be in Utah, you're in Wyoming, you're closer than somebody that's in like LA or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like your merchandise that you selling in Wyoming is closer because you're closer to them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you got people that they'll ask you, can you meet them somewhere and do a basically a local pickup, because you're the closest person that has that merchandise. And that's the same thing with Amazon. You can make money with Amazon. I'm just not an Amazon guy. Like I'm an eBay guy. I've made money off of eBay. You know what I'm saying? Like Amazon ain't really make that much money off Amazon. So I don't really know Amazon like that. Some people do both, but basically I've had more success with eBay than Amazon. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. I primarily sell on eBay. I know you can do that damn near anywhere. eBay, you can do that anywhere. All you need is the merchandise. And a lot of times you can start off with what you got, what you already have. Like if you don't feel comfortable doing no garage sale, you could just sell your stuff on eBay. You just put it all on, take pictures of it, list it, and put it on there. You know what I'm saying? And wait for it to be sold. There's more to it than that. It's an art to it, just like anything else. But, basically, you'll learn that over time. You'll learn that. But the thing is that, if you're from a small town, you don't really have that many options. And it's understood. That's understood. You know what I'm saying? The less options you have, the more challenging it is, And it's like the thing is though, you still have the options to do things. A lot of times, people from small towns, what they do is they go become truck drivers. You know, they go drive big rigs. You know, because they can make some money. You know, doing that, and you know, it pays more than what, you know, they might have a little small factory in their town. You either work for the factory or you do something else, you know, and that something else might be, you know, basically driving trucks or whatever, driving big rigs. So, you know, that's just how that goes. You know, I mean, depending on where you are, is more opportunities. You know, because it's like, you know, you can't do DoorDash when you only got like 2,000 people in the town. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how that's gonna work? How that's gonna work doing Uber in a town with 200 people? You know what I'm saying? You the only Uber driver. Like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta drive across large amounts of areas to pick people up. You the only person in the whole damn area and shit. You know, that shit just don't work like that. Uber and all of that shit, all of them like gig economy apps and stuff like that are designed to be, it's designed for a metropolis. And if you don't know what a metropolis is basically you know, any city that has like over 1 million people. You know what I'm saying? Like millions upon millions of people. So if you trying to, you know, do something in a small town, it's just harder because it's not that many people. You know what I'm saying? Like okay, like for example, I mean, I do DoorDash, you know what I'm saying? And I don't feel no type of way about it. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Like the last time I did it, it was like a day ago, and I made in like 3 hours because it was the day that Boston played Dallas. It was the second game of the series. I made close to $80 in a span of 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Basically off tips. It was like I did like 5 deliveries. I made like damn near $80. Like I can't even really, it's hard for me to do that other than working for myself. Like, you know, if I get like a contract, you know, I can do that. I can do some stuff like that. Or if I definitely I have my own clientele or something like that. Yeah, I can do some numbers like that. That's some, you know, it don't normally be like that. You know, normally it'd be like, you know, 30 or $40 to drive a few hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is that, you know, that shit adds up, man. When you just, you know, got all you already got income coming in, that's an extra stream of income. You know, you could use that to do whatever you need to do, pay some bills, you know, whatever you got to do, man. That's something that you could do. You know what I'm saying? With that. And the thing is that, you know, some people they feel some type of way about that, like it's like beneath them and all of that type of stuff. And it's like, okay, well, if it's beneath you, you working for a multi-billion-dollar corporation, you know, because, you know, it's considered beneath you or whatever. I mean, okay, and are, you know, who amongst you are rich? You know, if you like if you grew up upper class where all your friends are doctors and lawyers or parents of doctors and lawyers, okay, I get it. but all you people, that's pretty much that's not your reality. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You went to private school, and some of your friends, they dad is a hedge fund manager and all that type of shit. Like, if that's your reality, I get it. You know what I'm saying? That, I can understand that, Um, but most people, that's not their reality. You know what I'm saying? That just not, it's nowhere near their reality. And it's like, okay, um, you know what I'm saying, you dehumanizing people because that's what they do for a side hustle, for a stream of income. I just don't get that shit. Cause it's like, I mean, I get it. I've did a whole live stream, and I talked about DoorDash. Like, if you over 30 and you doing DoorDash, yes, you have to admit to yourself, you have to look in the mirror and say, yeah, you fucked up. Somewhere along the somewhere in life, yeah, you fucked up. Yeah, you did. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? You didn't save enough money. You didn't take that course. You didn't complete, you know what I'm saying? You didn't follow some advice, several advice. You just basically didn't follow. You didn't finish, you know what I'm saying, that class or whatever. You ain't get your degree, whatever the hell you didn't do to get you to the point where you over 35 doing DoorDash. Yeah, I admit, yeah, you fucked up. But you gotta understand. Let me go back to this chart here. This is what you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You dealing with this here. you basically dealing with an unequitable wealth distribution. That's what you're fighting on a day-to-day basis. That's what your parents most likely were fighting. They were fighting that same unequitable wealth distribution. And that's where you're fighting, because basically you're most likely the product, the offspring of parents that didn't have any trust fund, and then ultimately you won't have any trust fund most likely. And when you're operating off basically not having any type of wealth from your previous parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and you're operating off of zero. You're operating off of zero, or even negative, because like if you're in debt, you're in the negative. So if you're operating off of negative or at zero or close to zero, because most people are close to zero, right? Most people are close to poor than they like to think of or dream of, because a lot of people are, kind of delusional. Both men and women are basically delusional. They think they have more. The average person that thinks that, okay, the average person that has a mortgage, that has a nice premium 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a garage, with a mortgage, that's, let's just say $1,500-$1,600 a month, right? PMI and all of that. $50,000 in credit card debt, one car payment for the wife, another car payment for the man, all right, the husband. So accumulative liabilities, overall liability debt of like basically $300,000. A person, you're gainfully employed. I'll say, okay, let's just give you a government job. You got a government job. Your wife works in the private sector. Y'all combined income is like 180 grand a year. So you basically able to pay the bills, right? Your budget for the month is about roughly about 7 grand a year, and that's including private school. And both of you and your wife are able to take care of it because you're gainfully employed, right? Well, a lot of people in that reality, they're delusional in a sense where they think they arrived and they think that they're much more ahead than the average person, um, or even the average poor person. They think that they arrived when basically, when you break it down, not only that they have not arrived because they're operating in a negative deficit, because if all of those bills got due, meaning, okay, let's say both, and this is where insurance is really important, why you should have at least $1 million policy or close to, or at least a half a million. What if, okay, both parents, right? Both husband and wife just was casually out driving. You know where I'm going? Car accident. They both go to the upper room. Whatever you thought, whatever whatever mindset they had as far as they felt that they arrived, and they looked at an average person struggling, or people running, walking on the street as like they're so much better off than them and they're grateful. But the thing is that where the delusion sets in for me, where I look at it, because I'm operating from a person that doesn't have any debt, or let's just say my assets well overlap my debts now. Um, I look at it from how much debt you have versus how much assets or cash you have on hand. And the average person doesn't think that way, and that's very important, because people want you, the let's just say the powers that be, the rich, right? They want you to think that, because if you're operating off of a negative deficit, you're not even at zero, you're actually worse. The average poor person, let's just say they don't have a pot to piss in, but they also don't have any debt. They probably have minimal debt. If I went in and I did a survey, right? I go to Chicago, I go to Canal Street, and then I basically bring my laptop, and I just, basically offer the homeless people, right, a survey. I'll give you $100 if you just let me run your credit. I need to verify this is your social and everything. If they actually agree with it, what they most likely, a lot of takers would, because basically I'll show them, I'll tell them why I want them to do it. The reason why I want to do it, I'm doing a survey on how much debt poor people or homeless people actually have. And okay, they sign up for it, and I pull, let's just say 5 people, and they all have less than about 10 grand worth of debts on their credit report. Some of them probably have child support or whatever. And the thing is this, right? What I'm saying is, on a financial statement, which that's how banks talk, that's financial talk. That person that's homeless, that has less than $10,000 worth of debt, and an average person that just has the house, 2 car notes, $50,000 in credit card debt, over $300,000 in debt, that person is not better off. That person is worse than a homeless person on the street. Now, I'm not going to say figuratively. Being actually homeless, smelling, not knowing where your next meal is coming from, your next dollar is coming from, not being able to clean yourself, and not having a home. Yeah, that's a tough life. I'm not going to lie about that. Okay, that reality is tough. But financially, your life, having over $300,000 in debt and having to pay that is tougher, because basically the only reason that you probably don't think is tough is because you got programmed, your brain is programmed to operate off of credit, off of debt, as a lifestyle, as a way to live a certain lifestyle. And as long as you're working, as long as you're able to make ends meet, you don't see that is a big problem. You don't see it. You're concerned about it. you think about it, probably, have hot flashes or something. Think about it like, what if I lose my job or whatever, and you get up out of sleep and go use a bathroom one night, but you don't think about it in a sense where it's not that big of a deal. You don't worry about it that much. You're more concerned about what you're gonna buy the next day than it is that you're $300,000 in debt. And you definitely will look at yourself as better off than a poor person that's basically homeless on the street. You Even though you have more, actually financially, you're worse off financially than the person that's poor and homeless on the street. But the psyops is, the programming is, people are taught to think that they're much more better off than a person is on the street, that's homeless, that has no debts but also don't have any money, because that's just most people, their thought process is surface level. So they don't even think, it doesn't even comprehend. If I go talk to the average person, like, oh yeah, so how much cumulative debt did you have? Oh, I have about, I got a nice fancy house, and I got, we got a whole bunch of cars, and I got $100,000 in credit card debt. I have a cumulative debt about $500,000. And I basically, do you? And I just basically just hit them with, that person is homeless with a sign asking for money, and basically doesn't have a home, is better off than you. And they'll just probably laugh, or they'll be shocked. They'll be like, what the hell are you talking about? How is this person better off than me? If you died tomorrow and you had no health insurance or basically life insurance, your children would have to sell that house and hope that they can either break even to sell where that they can get, or have some little profit that they can make from the sale of their house, to basically go off on their own and get an apartment or finish up school or whatever, to basically live off their own. And you better hope that they can do it before all of your other debts come basically cannibalizing you, and whatever properties or anything that you have that they can take, or bank accounts that they can take, by all of the other credit lines that become a default after your pass. And these are the hard things that a lot of people don't really want to talk about, don't want to think about, that financial people like myself absolutely think about, absolutely have talked about, and will continue to talk about. And my mindset, I have basically short-circuited my mind to not think like everybody else. I don't think like the average person, where, oh, just because I have a house with credit lines, and I have a nice car, and I fit in with the Joneses, but I don't, my bank account, my actual cash, my liquid cash doesn't fit in the Joneses. I don't think that I'm better off than the average person that's on the street that's poor. And I absolutely know about the wealth distribution in this country, appearing that it's land of milk and honey, and you can make it and everything like that. You can, but it is not. It is way more. It's a lot more places that it is easier, based off of their wealth distribution score, to make wealth versus the United States. Like, for example, the Netherlands, it's a lot easier to have wealth or grow wealth in the Netherlands than it is the United States. Same thing with, like, it's places like, for example, Qatar, and Qatar with the QUA. It's QATR, I believe. The country in the Middle East, basically is part of the Emirates, I believe. That country is so wealthy, they make so much money off of wealth, that the people actually work, but they work for like almost a civic reason. They work civically to basically just maintain the society. They get a check from the government every, I think, month or year, profit wise, because they make so much money off of oil revenues and other, basically resources in their country. Their country is so wealthy, basically, that they cut a check to their citizens every month or year, because they're making so much money off of oil and other, basically products or whatever that add to their GDP in Qatar. It's other countries that are way more wealthy than the United States. And it's like you wouldn't know that, you wouldn't think it because of the programming that you've been programmed to believe, but it's a lot easier in other countries. This country has a lot of red tape that I've talked about on this channel plenty of times, and it's a lot of things that you got to overcome to become wealthy. And it's very much a lot of what goes on in this country is basically they it's basically a big giant police state and a prison colony. If you look up how much people are locked up, especially African Americans, and even women are becoming basically, because women are on their own and they're making a lot of women make a lot of dumb mistakes being on their own. They have a prison, basically a jail stat that is rising, that women are basically getting locked up at a higher rate because a lot of different factors in a than normal, than like 20 years ago or so. So it's like, yeah, it's a lot of smoke screens, but it's just kind of something to remind you about that. Basically the average person, even though you do have that degree, even though you do have the credit and the credit lines, and you have the lifestyle based off of those credit lines, don't be so delusional to think that you're better off than that poor person, on the street. You're not that much, basically ahead of that poor person than you think. And you're not even in the middle, okay? You're not even in the middle, you know what I'm saying? You think you're in the middle, but let me get some things to together. Let me get some things together. All right. Let's see here. I think I probably posted this. Probably put this on Facebook. Let's see here. And yeah, it's not like they digressing either, with the different credit options. It's getting outright ridiculous. So now they got a 96-month car loan. They got 96-month car loans. You know, this is you know they're not digressing. They're you know they're trying to double down on you know the idiocracy. You know, like because you want a car so much to fit in, you want to go to the late night, you know, um, car meetup or whatever. You know what I'm saying, and spin your tires in a circle. You know, get that new Challenger. You know, and you know what I'm saying, spin your tires in a circle. You know, yeah, 96-month car loan. You know, for you. You know what I'm saying. Um, you know, that's what they got, you know, for you. You know, they got new products. And then of course, you know, they talking about they got the 40-year, mortgage now. You know what I'm saying? They talking about, yeah, they just I'm not making this up. They got the 40-year mortgage. They got the 96-month car loan. You know, I remember when they made it 70 months. They make the car payments usually yeah, this is what I was looking for here. The car payments um went from like they went from basically like 6 years. I think it was like 62 months or something like that. And then they went from that to 72 months or something like that. And then now they talking about, you know, the 96-month car loan, you know, 96 months. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, that's what they doing, you know, you know, that's the type of shit that they doing, you know what I'm saying? You know, 96 months for you. So I'm just, you know, loading some stuff up. So, you know, I ain't gotta just, you know, share my screen and then. So this is the new medium right here. So, you know, poor 0 to 500,000, middle class 500,000 to 2 million, upper middle 2 million to 4 million. This is more accurate, and I agree with this chart. The old chart, you know, this crap here, you know, this is no longer valid. This is this is old. See, this is like shit that, you know, I was thinking before that's not accurate. It's no longer valid. You know what I'm saying? This is the updated format. This is the updated reality. You know, that shit was just, you know, I was still stuck in the matrix or whatever. This is the reality right now. This is what you got to deal with, you know, to actually have some money, you know. And I'm talking about liquid. I'm not talking about you got debt, you know. I mean, I'm talking about you got cash on hand, $500,000. You know what I'm saying? You worth on assets. Your assets over your liabilities is worth, you know, $500,000 or more. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is that they want you to still believe in this model here. They want you to continue. They want you to die on this hill to believe that this is reality for you. They absolutely want you to still believe that, so you can be, you know, delusional and stuck, you know, in a matrix. You know, they absolutely want you to still believe that. They absolutely do. So these, you know, people on the super uber wealthy and rich will, you know, still get richer, and you'll still be thinking you're much better than the poor person that you're absolutely worse off at because you got more debt. Why do you think people commit suicide? Because when they realize, when they lost their job, or, you know, they facing some type of financial problem, you know, they realize that they can't pay for it, and they're going to have to go downward. They're going to have to, you know, like a lot of times people have a hard time going from top to bottom, meaning losing their house and going back in the living apartment. Some people are embarrassed by it because people have friends, and you know, the Joneses have friends is with the Johnsons, you know, and you know, the Smiths and stuff like that. And basically when they lose their money, it's kind of like you saw the movie basically Trading Places. When dude lost all his money, he became suicidal. He was drinking. He wanted to kill himself, you know, because he didn't want to go. He didn't want to be back down. He never was down. You know what I'm saying? That's the market bell closing. I didn't really do good on my stock today. I lost about close to $5. Yeah. So, and then this you know, I'm doing a trading combine so I can get approved to be a prop trader. I'm not doing good with that either. I gotta figure out what the rules are. I think you have to basically make a certain amount. You gotta make like a certain amount to actually make the competition. So yeah, it's basically it's a competition. You can make money too, though. This competition, you can make more, you can make money with it. But I gotta read the details. But basically, you can you know, basically you just look up. If you look up trade, I'm gonna put it in the comment section. Look up Trade to Pool. That's what I'm using. Okay, trade is called Trade to Pool. So anyway, the thing is that you know, that's what you gotta think about. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about, you know, reality. You know what I'm saying? And so fantasy, delusional crap, that shit ain't. It's just not. It's not, you know, conducive for success, for long-term success. It's just not good. It's not a good deal. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. So anyway, I've pretty much said quite a bit already, and I don't really have that much to say. You know, it is what it is. I mean, of course, I got another win to add to my belt. And
S50, I hope you didn't mind if I ask you if we can kick it. I need stimulation intellectually, sapiosexually. I feel electricity when you're next to me. You got that fine-tuned energy, divine masculinity, and yes, I desire for you to enter me. Though you's a physical entity, the spiritual chemistry connects us on the level of infinity. Cause what I'm singing is a god-like figure, dark chocolate and color, the same one they call nigga now. You got me feeling like yes, you a king to me, you a king to me. Yeah, y'all ain't ready.